Project Hail Mary, aka the Ryan Gosling space film that'll make you weep over a rock, is here, and wow do people like it. We follow science teacher Ryan Grace as he wakes up on a mysterious spaceship and has to piece together the events that got him there, before going on to save the world from these energy-absorbing particle things trying to destroy the sun. It's a plot that I would expect to hear if the phrase Ryan Gosling space film was mentioned to me. But when I saw those reviews come in, I knew for sure that I would be in for something a bit more than just a B-Tech Interstellar, and oh, was it interesting. Project Hail Mary is based on a book of the same name by Andy Weir, who, fun fact for you here, also wrote The Martian, another book that was incidentally turned into a rather good film. So it's a double win, since for one, we know we're in safe hands, and two, it's nice to see the book lovers getting a win after the firestorm that was Wuthering Heights. As a person who isn't the biggest sci-fi fan, I found it really refreshing to watch a film like this, that doesn't feel bloated and doesn't take itself too seriously. I mean, one of the biggest criticisms I have with space films as a genre is that the dialogue just comes across so technical while being so completely baseless. Everything is always taken so seriously, even though it's clear that most of the sciencey stuff is just utter crap. So to see this film be so, well, funny, while exploring a story that could have the potential to be much darker, it's a nice tonal change from the status quo. I mean, when the rock guy said fist my bump, it was absolute scenes in the cinema. The older couple next to me were eating that right up, and so was I.
Fist my bump? No, it's fist bump. It's not the same.
And it's part of what makes Gosling so well suited for this role. He's a guy that has that career blend of light-hearted family romps like Barbie, as well as the darker, more stoic roles like Drive under his belt, making the transitions from those comedic set pieces to the more tender moments so smooth and allowing them to be blended so well into one cohesive feeling. And there is a lot of Gosling in this film, like a huge amount. Rarely does a sequence happen where he's not involved. And over 2.5 hours, wow, it's a lot of Gosling. And in a way, it's a shame, since I would have really liked to see a bit more from Sandra Hüller. I thought her deadpan tone worked really well to keep the silliness in check, but she's there much more as a way to move things along than anything else. At its core, Project Hail Mary isn't really a film about saving the Earth, but a film about bonds and community, the way they hold strong and develop throughout tribulations, or, in this case, universe-wide catastrophes. It's the developing friendship we see between Grace and Rocky, each stranded individuals looking for a sense of new beginning as they strive to save their home planets. And when I say it's one of the most real friendships put to screen since Tom Hanks befriended that volleyball, I mean it. And it's part of what makes this film so unique. The tropes of just saving the world are foregone, and they genuinely take a back seat in the tail end of this, in place of a story about loneliness and connection. I'm happy it's gone this way. You know, it's a big budget Amazon film, and like, they could have just made it high stakes space crap, but no, we've got something a bit more. But that brings me on to my next point, and what is arguably one of the most important factors to consider with science fiction in general. They've had $250 million to splash on the visuals, so how does it all look? Well, from a camera work perspective, a lot of what happens on Earth does look a bit bland. You know, it's giving washed out colors, it's giving big budget studio, but once we get into space, that's all left behind because it just looks wonderful. With the spaceship in particular looking especially real. I was watching the behind the scenes videos from this, and they were explaining the theory behind the controlled chaos that is the cockpit, using a mismatch of parts and buttons to reflect the look of a real aircraft, since a consistent uniform spread of controls is just something you wouldn't find. And as for the visuals, I don't want to keep comparing this to Interstellar, since they are just two completely different films, but Interstellar is just something you can't help but draw comparisons to. It is the space film. And Project Hail Mary is no Interstellar. I'm sorry, it's just not. From a visual standpoint, they are in two completely different leagues. I will say Hail Mary has the set design going for it, and everything does just pop a lot more. It's a lot more colorful, there's a lot of really interesting applications of light, and it lends itself really well to the less serious tone it strives to achieve. But it's not Interstellar. I'm sorry, it's just not. Not that it's something that warrants being pointed out, you know, these are two very different things. But granted, it's a comparison that needs to be made, given this thing's insane reception. And I'll get onto that in just a second. Something that I took away from this, which I didn't expect to be so memorable, was Sandra Hüller's rendition of Sign of the Times. For some reason, this is the scene I've remembered the most fondly, and as simple as it is, it's surprisingly tender. I think there's a level of irony there that with all of these dense visual moments, a karaoke scene on a boat was my favourite. But it's true, since a lot of what takes place is between a man and his intergalactic rock, there are very few scenes of genuine human connection, with this being the only true moment bonds on Earth are depicted. Ugh, and it's just a good song. It's a great song. But the big question on the tip of everybody's tongue is, does this deserve to sit in the Letterboxd Top 100? Does this deserve the mental reviews it's got so far? Yeah, I don't really think so. I'm going to use the term overrated very lightly here, because it's genuinely an incredible film, and I enjoyed it even though I don't tend to go in for sci-fi stuff in general. While it can be a bit generic at times and definitely leads into this more crowd-pleasing nature, at the end of the day, it's a crowd pleaser. This will make a lot of money. I mean, it's opened at like $30 million something dollars. I have no doubts this will be a huge success, but from a critical standpoint, I don't know how it's on a 4.4 average. It's good, man. It's good. It's not this good. But what did you think of Project Hail Mary? Drop a comment down below. I'll be sure to read them. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.